Valentine's Day is supposed to be a night of love, of roses and romance. But for 4 young people in North Carolina, February 14th, 2002, turned into a date marked by screams, smoke, and a blaze so fierce it swallowed their futures whole. All because of a broken heart and a so-called prank. Hey everyone, welcome back to Forensic Footprints, the place where unbelievable true stories come to light. Today's case is one that starts off with heartbreak, a bottle of wine, and a bad decision, but ends with a blaze that claimed 4 young lives. We're talking about Janet Danahey and the tragic fire at Campus Walk Apartments in Greensboro, North Carolina, to revisit a case that still stirs outrage and debate more than 20 years later. Stick around, because the details of this one will absolutely leave you stunned. It's February 14th, 2002, Valentine's Day. 23-year-old Janet Danahey isn't having a great night. In fact, she's furious. While most people are celebrating love, Janet Danahey is drowning in heartbreak. Her boyfriend of 6 months, Thad Johnston, had broken up with her the day before, and according to Thad, he described Janet as hysterical, crying, yelling, inconsolable. So what does Janet do? She calls up 2 of her girlfriends and invites them over to her apartment. Pasta, wine, and venting. Your typical heartbreak girl's night in. But after the bottles are empty, the mood shifts from sad to vindictive. The trio wants revenge and starts discussing how to get back at Thad. At first, the plan was petty, but relatively harmless. They wanted to pour fish oil in Thad's car radiator. It's gross and inconvenient, just the kind of thing drunk and heartbroken people might come up with. Real middle school level revenge. But when they couldn't find his car, they went back to Janet's place. And that's when the idea of fire entered the picture. Janet grabbed a bottle of lighter fluid from her apartment, and they walked just a block away to the Campus Walk Apartments, a student housing complex just off Spring Garden Street, close to the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, where Thad lived, or so she believed. Most of the residents are students in their 20s, just like her, just like Thad. So the 3 women walk over looking for his apartment. Janet climbed the stairs to the 2nd-story breezeway, lighter fluid in hand. She claimed she heard laughter inside, and in her mind it had to be Thad believing her ex was home. Was it him? Was it someone else? She'll never be able to say for sure. But what she does next is chilling. She looked around the balcony and spotted a box of Christmas decorations. She doused it with lighter fluid, but it wouldn't catch. Then she turned to a futon, sprayed it down, and this time, it did catch. Janet giggled and ran off into the night. What started as a drunken stunt turned into a deadly inferno. It's around 2:30 in the morning when 911 calls started flooding in from frantic residents at Campus Walk. Flames are pouring from the 2nd story. The fire was moving fast. Gusty winds that night fed the flames, and the entire breezeway lit up. Screams can be heard as residents start evacuating. The stairs and the landings were made out of wood. The fire burned right through them quickly and left some residents with no good way to escape. Some escaped by jumping off balconies and out of windows. Others remained in their apartments as the fire burned. Most residents were able to escape or be rescued when firefighters arrived quickly, but for 4 innocent residents in apartment K, it was already too late. Beth Harris, 20 years old, was a music major who'd spent her Valentine's Day singing telegrams for couples. Beth shared the apartment with her roommate Rachel Llewellyn, 21 years old, and Rachel's older sister Donna, 24 years old. Her boyfriend, 25-year-old Ryan Beck, a computer major, was staying over with her that night. All 4 are in the same apartment. All 4 tried to escape the fire by taking the stairs, but they were overcome by smoke. They were trapped in the blaze. Then the breezeway collapsed, and their bodies were later found by firefighters and pulled from the rubble. A night of heartbreak turned into a nightmare. After the fire, Janet and her friends fled the scene and quickly tried to destroy evidence. They dumped the lighter fluid bottle and Janet's smoky clothes in a nearby dumpster. Janet would later say that she had seen the apartment building on fire from her back porch, but could not find her cell phone to call for help. She would hear sirens and screaming, therefore figured everything was under control. But the guilt and the evidence caught up with her. The next morning, Janet drove to her parents' house 3 hours away. It didn't take long for police to figure out that Janet was responsible. Her friends immediately turned on her. Cooperating with investigators, they directed the police to the dumpster, where they found the lighter fluid and Janet's clothing. Janet was arrested and charged with 4 counts of capital murder. While Janet is arrested and charged with 4 counts of capital murder, her friends walk away with 0 charges because prosecutors chose not to charge them. Public outrage followed. Why weren't they charged? Did they know what she planned, and did they egg her on? Still, prosecutors focused on Janet with the evidence stacked against her: security footage, witness testimony, physical evidence. Janet does the only thing she can do. She took a plea deal to avoid the death penalty, life in prison without the possibility of parole. But what happened at her sentencing left the victims' families furious. Janet made bizarre, unsettling statements. "The angels of your children have come to me, and I have touched their hands, and they have told me what it felt like to feel their flesh burn," she said, prompting gasps from people in attendance. She also stated, "I know who they are. They are a part of me now. You are my family now. You are stuck with me now. I hurt you, and I will make that better. And I can make their dreams go on." Many believe those comments were disturbing, narcissistic, and completely lacking in remorse. Still, most were relieved she'd never walk free, or so they thought. For years, the case faded into memory. Janet stayed in prison. Families moved forward, or tried to. But in 2017, everything changed. Governor Pat McCrory commuted Janet Danahey's sentence quietly. What does that mean? It means Janet would no longer serve life without parole. That decision meant she could apply for parole in 2029. Then in 2022, Governor Roy Cooper amended her sentence again, making her eligible even sooner, in 2023. The families of the victims were shocked. Outrage poured across social media and local news stations. People couldn't believe the woman responsible for 4 deaths might actually walk free. Janet was denied parole at her first hearing, but she's allowed to reapply every 3 years, which means her next chance is in 2026. This case divides people to this day. On one side, you have advocates who argue Janet never meant to kill anyone. She didn't know the fire would spread. She thought she was being petty, not deadly. She served over 2 decades, isn't that enough? Yet on the other side, there are the families. Beth, Ryan, Rachel, and Donna, all of them were young, full of life, with dreams ahead of them. Their parents and siblings will never get another Valentine's Day with them. And Janet? She might get the chance to walk free. So what do you think? Was this a tragic accident or something more? Should Janet Danahey get another chance at freedom? Or did she already burn that bridge forever? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more true stories like this, cases that leave you questioning justice, mercy, and consequence, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. This is Forensic Footprints. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.